Do y'all realize drug dealers get more time than murderers? Why is that? Check out this video and please leave a comment.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Charles, and I wanted to just touch on a couple of things, man. What's going on in society nowadays, and what's happening with people. You know how things can be manipulated and profited off of. You know, if you're not paying attention, you can be one of those people that are getting profited off of. The biggest thing that I have some experience with is with the judicial system and the prison system. And one of the main conversations that we have in there is talking about how the war on drugs is dead now, and who they replacing to take up the drug dealers are these gang members. That's why gangs are so prevalent nowadays. You know, that's who's filling up these prisons now. They're hitting these guys with RICOs. Now, how they were getting the drug dealers back in the day, they got something called ghost dope, and they dress it up and they call it relevant conduct. So if somebody gets popped for selling drugs and they implicate you in their case, they can say they bought the drugs from you, and that bargain will get them a lower sentence. By them saying that, the DA will calculate how long you've been selling drugs for that one sale that person said that you did. They'll calculate that up, add it up, say if it's just 1 ounce. They'll calculate that 1 ounce up to 5 years until it goes into keys. So you can be sitting on a case worth keys, which is pretty much a life sentence, off of ghost dope, actual keys that never apprehended from nobody. So that's one of the way to trick you out of your life. Another way is with the RICO Act, and that's racketeering. It's pretty much continuing a criminal enterprise. I can't remember what the acronym is right this second, but what that does is if you're part of an organization and one person commits a crime and it's a group of y'all, each one of y'all is guilty of that crime as well, that one person who committed the crime, because you're continuing a criminal enterprise. And that's how they're getting these gang members now. So what they're doing is, if you're part of this gang and this gang goes out and do something, you can be in a whole nother city. You know, if you're part of that gang, you're going to get, you know, the same charges too, you know, and they're going to grab everybody, you know, 40 and 50. I've actually seen cases, we're actually going through orientation. I seen one guy, he was just a mechanic, an old man. He just worked on people's cars and stuff like that. And it just so happened one of the cars he was working on belonged to a drug dealer. They gave that man 25 years for working on a drug dealer's car. That's by design. The reason why they want to punish the drug dealers and people who associate themselves with drug dealers like that, because what it was doing, even though there's a lot of bad things coming from the actual drug trade, you know, with crime rates going up and all that stuff, it was actually feeding the community a lot more, because I'm from that era. I remember when you had the drug dealers getting cars in people's name, buying houses, opening up businesses and stuff like that. The minute they changed that 1994 crime bill, that's when things changed. That's when you started seeing, you know, the neighborhoods going down, opportunities drying up, people, you know, losing things now because they took out that major influx of cash. You know, and it reminds me of this proverb, and this is why people have to be careful, because the United States probably will fall, because there's an old Chinese proverb that says a country's only as strong as its military and its underworld. And what they've done crippled their underworld, and you know, I'm not going to minimize the atrocities that's happening to people out there nowadays, though, but some of the stuff people are beefing over is not worth about it. It's not about anything right now. People can lose their life over for looking at somebody wrong. I mean, it's always kind of been like that, though, but it's even more ridiculous now, especially with the internet and social media.
Will they give people more time for selling drugs than committing a murder?
Yes, they will. I've seen murderers actually go home way before a person who sells drugs. And the majority of the people that's in prison for life are drug dealers, especially in the federal system. You know, they quickly throw your life away with that, and it's, you know, they do it through some of these laws called the RICOs, relevant conduct. There's a whole list of them, a laundry list of charges that they put on. They call it enhancements. And then, and I remember coming up in those times, man, we affected the car culture in a major way. Most of these cars, the way they're designed now, came from the way drug dealers were designing their cars back in the 80s and 90s. And then, you get up to all the way up to nowadays where you have cars coming factory with 20-inch rims. That was started by black men out in South Florida. So what they do is they knock us out the way and they take it over and they profit off of it more so than we will. And then what they do is they lock us up for many, especially if you got any type of potential, any types of smarts, they're going to lock you up and put you away for a long time. Especially if you're good with money. They do not like the fact that you can make a whole lot of money. So one of the major things that struck me as odd is when you go through the federal system, they make you itemize everything that you own and what you accumulate, and that dictates where they're going to send you as far as some of these prisons and stuff like that.